Hey, what's up everyone, Ragey Golden Eagle here, having way too much fun as always. And I sure as hell love me some stories about gold diggers getting what's coming to them. And that's pretty much exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today from our friends in Australia. He repulsed me in every way. Prostitute who married sugar daddy more than twice her age loses her alimony claim and is ordered to pay the man back $180,000 as the judge tells her to get a job. Man, equality just pimp-slapped the hell out of this bitch. So let's get into a little bit of the background here. The 31-year-old woman met her 64-year-old husband when the Queensland businessman hired her for $1,500 one night in 2006. Damn, man, she must have actually been a pretty good-looking woman back then to go for that price. But still, what the hell was this sucker doing marrying her in the first place? He could have just reserved her and bought her whenever he felt like, right? Ah well, I guess I'll never understand what goes through the mind of a Captain Save-A-Ho. But in this case it wasn't even that, as we're gonna get into shortly. They had a pretty interesting living arrangement, let's just say. But that aside, remember in the title, she said that he repulsed her in every way. But that didn't stop her from marrying him because, as she says, "The life I led supported my family and I endured what the applicant did to me for the benefit of my family." That sounds like the textbook definition of a job right there, pretty much. Getting up and going to work every day is not at the top of the list for very many people out there, but they endure it because they have to. And all this job talk is actually important in my opinion, because what she was basically trying to do here is quit her job and still get paid. Because let's face it, alimony is pretty much the only time you can get away with that in life. It's the only job you can quit and still expect to get paid for. But I did just mention that they had a pretty interesting arrangement, and this arrangement may actually go on to explain one of the main reasons why she most likely didn't get any alimony. The woman, known by the moniker Miss Higgins, married the man in 2012 but never lived with him. Miss Higgins lived with another man, the father of her daughter, during the entirety of the unorthodox relationship. Again, I don't know what the hell is going through the mind of this guy. Why the hell is he marrying and paying for this woman? Unless he's one of those guys that has that financial domination fetish anyway, this just makes no sense to me. Though the other guy in this, the guy that she was actually living with, he's getting a pretty sweet deal right there. He's getting to father children with another man's wife while he's footing the entire bill. And speaking of the bill, here's a little example. Miss Higgins moved into a $1.12 million house in Melbourne which her suitor bought for her as a gift. The man also paid for other expenses including Botox, clothes, shoes, a breast augmentation, lip fillers, and her young daughter's school fees. So yeah, I'm gonna say it again, the other guy in this relationship is getting a pretty sweet deal. Unless of course he's one of those suckers that actually views her as his woman. But all that speculation aside, now we're getting to the good bits. Speaking in the Melbourne family court, Justice Paul Cronin ruled Miss Higgins needed to pay her ex-husband $180,000. Though I wish they would have been more specific as to what this is supposed to cover. Is this to pay his legal fees because this fight has been going on for more than 2 years? Or was she ordered to pay him back a bunch of the money for all the stuff that he paid for? I don't know, but either way, this is a pretty hilarious ruling, and should serve as a warning to any other attempted gold diggers out there. Now let's see what she was after. He said she could keep the house he bought her, but rejected her plea for $8,143 a month in maintenance fees. I would have loved to see the rationalization that she tried to pull for why she needs that money. She never lived with the guy, she never did shit for him. He was basically her sugar daddy during their entire relationship. What did she contribute to it? She was living with and had a family with another guy while he was bankrolling it. And thankfully, the judge apparently saw things the same way I do. And this part here is just ridiculous. Miss Higgins told the court she needed the money because her weekly spending of $2,625 far exceeded her weekly Centrelink earnings of $470. Oh, the poor dear. Apparently, cutting that insanely high weekly spending is not an option, is it? I can tell you from experience, it's more than possible to live just fine off of $470 a week. You're just gonna have to give up some luxuries. And again, thankfully, the judge apparently saw it this way as well, cause this here is the final line in the article. Justice Cronin urged Ms. Higgins to sell her house if she needed more money or seek out a new career. Ooh, that's gotta sting. Gold digger probably thought she was gonna be set for life, now basically being told, nah bitch, you gotta go get a job. Man, I love the smell of equality in the morning. Though on a final note, I have to say, I still believe this is all one huge case of too little too late. As awesome as it is to see more of these types of stories cropping up, this is going to do absolutely nothing about the breakdown in gender relations. And while everything comes crashing down all around you, feminists, remember, you're just getting the equality you've been asking for. That's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks for listening.